Hey guys, Savage or Recovery, back for another video. How are you guys doing today? How are my savages? So I got a couple stories that I wanted to tell. If everyone has seen my video earlier, I am going back to court next month for child support, so that's gonna be fun. Also, with that being said, some interesting things that are happening in the news right now. Trump just signed an executive order to get rid of TikTok, which I believe was a great move because China is China is spying on us, and TikTok had a lot of access to people's phones and a lot of things that were important to people. And with them being a adversary of ours, it's not beneficial to us to allow personal information of ours to be sent to someone that we might be going into conflict with here in the near future. Also, another fun story that I want to cover is this right here. Why Save the Children was temporarily banned from Facebook. The hashtag Save the Children was temporarily blocked on Facebook after it was linked to a baseless QAnon theory that there's a deep state that tries to with ties to child trafficking rings, according to reports. Searches for the hashtag Wednesday returned a message that stated that it was temporarily hidden because it is against social media sites' common community standards. The hashtag was being attached to disturbing photos and pages involving children. The outlet said, adding that additional hashtags associated with QAnon are also sometimes included with Save the Children hashtag. In one post with Save the Children hashtag, the user shared a photo of actor Tom Hanks' star on Hollywood Boulevard that had been altered to call him a pedophile. But the move promoted dozens of Facebook users to hit out at the social media giant, alleging that the company was censoring the truth and protecting pedophiles. So, the reason that I bring that up, all those companies are taking our data. I'm sure that there's going to be something that comes with them. But as of right now, TikTok is what they're dealing with right now. I can't tell you what the plan is for big tech. I do think that there are things that are going to be changing with big tech. I at least hope so. But interesting thing, it's weird that Facebook just canceled. I think they just temporarily canceled Trump's campaign messages on the site, and they also just blocked Save the Children hashtag on Facebook. And that is crazy to me that we have 800,000 children going missing each year in America, and people are talking about trying to save the children, and Facebook is blocking that hashtag so that it's misinformation. That is weird to me, seeing as the sense. Yeah, Owen Benjamin's taking on Patreon. So is Lauren Southern. So is I forget the other guy's name. There's a lot of social media giants that are doing stuff, and people are fighting them. Sargon, that's right, Sargon of Akkad. He's also suing, which could end up bankrupting Patreon, which is weird because with all this shit going on with Patreon, like I'm honestly thinking about not even having a Patreon account. Like I've been dragging my ass to actually, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? I've been actually dragging my ass to actually put more content up on Patreon. But like Patreon's giving me all sorts of trouble. Like it's giving me all sorts of of problems. Like in order for me to upload videos to it, like I have to pay money every month to Patreon, and then Patreon takes a percentage of whatever money that people decide to donate to me through Patreon. They take a percentage of that. And then like they're giving me some sort of trouble for even getting access to the money that I'm being paid. So like with everything that's going on right now with Patreon, like I just don't see it being a viable platform. Like I really think it's like a waste of time at this point. And I think they're going to go bankrupt because they have to front millions and millions and millions of dollars for all this court shit. Even if they win, they're still gonna be out millions of dollars. God, I hate every time I eat, my nose runs. Yeah, so I had 3 Patreons, and I had three people that were subscribed to me on Patreon. 2 of them backed out, and then you're still in there, Nate. And like they took your money and they're holding it. Like I have no access to it. They're saying that I'm up for review for suspicious activity or something, even though like I haven't done anything. Like all I've done was post on there. I'm like not doing anything suspicious. But even with that being said, like I don't see that. Like I just don't see it working out because they're gonna have to front money, and I don't like. All they are is a mediary, so they take percentages of the money. So I don't know how else they would have like $100 million to pay these court costs if they're not just taking money from content creators and then paying these court costs. Like I think content creators that are on there are going to get screwed. A lot of people. But as everyone knows, anybody that has seen my video that I uploaded today, I was going to upload more videos, but I had to leave and go do I had to go do something. It was an emergency, so I had to go help somebody with something. But I will be going back to child support court on September 10th, the same day that Hillary Clinton has to testify. And I already know that it's about to be very painful. I'm gonna have to get a lawyer. I'm gonna pay for a lawyer, and I'm probably still gonna get fucked in the butt. And like the last couple days, I've been really having I've been in a really bad place in my head. Like I had like this big cloud over my head, and I was like, I just wasn't feeling it. And I don't know what it was from. I don't know why I was feeling that way. And then I checked the mail today and was like, oh, I know. It makes sense. Makes sense now. I could just feel that fucking letter in the mail. But yeah, so like I honestly feel like these women are trying to break me. That's really how I feel. Because they already took, the government already took $16,000 from me last year, so I don't even know how much money they're going to take from me this year. No, that don't bother me. That doesn't get to my mental space. I'm way more sound-minded when it comes to those things. The things that really bother me is when people are trying to get at me or do something to me, and I can't take recourse. No, so I paid $5,000 and I paid $5,000 child support to my son's mom. But because I'm not allowed to claim any of my children, I pay the highest amount of taxes. I don't get to claim anybody. I don't get to get any sort of deductions. So between the child support and the taxes I paid, the government took out 16 grand. So I paid $11,000 in taxes and $5,000 in child support. And out of the $42,000 that I made, I got to take home for $25,000. And then out of that $25,000, I have to pay health insurance. So whenever my health insurance gets whenever he goes to the doctor and they bill the health insurance, the health insurance company sends me a check or a bill, and I have to pay his medical bills on top of the money that I pay her. So if I'm paying her $5,000, all right, let's say, and then I have to also, let's say, pay $5,000 to my daughter's mom. So that's going to be $10,000 in child support. And then I make $42,000 a year. So they took 16 last year. So that's going to be $21,000 they're going to take from me next year. And then out of the 42,000, I'm going to get 21,000. Or I'm going to get 20,000. I'll get $20,000 out of the 42,000 that I earned working. And then I'm going to have to pay medical bills for 2 kids out of 20 grand, which if you do the math, that's not even $2,000 a month. I'm not going to even make, if I had to pay the same amount that I pay for my son, I'm not even going to get $2,000 a month out of my own income. And the last time they gave me a child support order, no, I was an essential worker, but you don't get any increased pay. Like you don't make more money. Like that's the other thing. So my son's mom was laid off, so she was getting unemployment, and then she was getting $600 a week on top of on top of her unemployment, on top of my child support, on top of she got the stimulus package, on top of her getting to claim my son in taxes. I do get health care through the union, but they still bill you. Like the health insurance doesn't cover every single thing. So if my son goes to the doctor, I'm still going to end up with a $12, a $20, a $30, a $40 bill. And he's 3, so he goes to the doctor quite frequently. So even if he goes to the doctor 12 times in a year and I pay $4 a pop, all right, I'm still paying like $300 or $400 a year on top of the health insurance that my job provides, on top of the child support that I pay, on top of the taxes I don't get to claim. It's nickels and dimes. It just nickels and dimes you to death is what it comes down to. Like if I end up getting like the last time that when I went to child support with my son, it was $500 a month to his mom. It was $400 a month to my health insurance company. And then it was $400 some a month for his deductible. So I was paying $1,300 a month to the child support order. And then I had to pay $1,000 to get a lawyer to go back, because the way the child support works is they take your information, and after they take your information, they put it into the computer, and then they send you an order, and then that order is effective. Like it goes into like I got the child support order on like March 31st, and as of April 1st, it was active. So immediately once you get it, they start taking the money out of your checks. So then your checks are less, and then I had to pay a lawyer $1,000 to go back to court, and then they gave me a court date in 5 months. So I had to pay $1,300 a month for 5 months until we went back to court. So I'm assuming that with this case, they're going to do the same thing. Like they're just going to send me an order in the mail, and it's going to be ridiculously high. And then I'm going to have to go pay another $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever it is to go back to court after waiting months to then have them lower it. So they're gonna wax me either way. Like even if even if they end up lowering it, it's still the same amount of money, because if I'm paying you $500 a month for 6 months and then they drop it down to $250, she still got $250 a month out of me extra for 6 months. So it still breaks out to me paying the same. Like it actually doesn't lower it. It seems nice. Like it's like they pull out like it's like they shove like one of those giant crazy black dildos that you see at like the sex shop. It's like the size of both your arms, and it's like from your head to your waist. They start with that thing, and then they just move it down like one size smaller, and then you're happy that you're not getting the bigger one. You're still getting blown the fuck out. It just they hit you with the big one, and then that little one, it doesn't seem so bad in your head because of all the trauma from the first one. Yeah. So yeah, long story short, being a male and having a essential job, I didn't get laid off, so I kept working. I still made the same amount of money that I was making, and his mom got to make extra money and claim him. And they're about to release another stimulus check, so she's gonna get an extra $1,000 this year for him on top of all this bullshit that's going on. And I'm still in the same position. Like nothing benefit, like this whole epidemic or having a job didn't benefit me. As of right now, it doesn't cost me anything because I went to the union. I was non-union at that time. So the way that the non-union health insurance policies here in Ohio are, you pay of like your deductible is $2,200 for a single person. It's $5,500 for a family. And then you have to pay, like if my boss paid for mine, it was just me. But as soon as I put my son on my insurance, my payments went from $0 a week to $103 a week. But so in the union, I make like $31 an hour, but I think it's $10 of that or $11 of that goes to my health insurance, and it goes to my retirement fund. So like out of the $30 or $31 or $30 that I make, I only get to take home $21 of it, because the rest of my wage goes to paying the health insurance and paying my retirement and paying my pension and all that. It was in my order. In my order, they said, "Oh, you have health insurance at your job?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, well, I'm going to make sure that I put that in your order because it'd make me feel better at night because I'm a taxpayer. So you should pay for his health insurance." Even though after he was on my health insurance, he still got to keep Medicaid. And even still, my court order in custody said that I didn't have to pay. Like our custody agreement said that I wasn't responsible for his health insurance. But then the child support office, they ended up overriding that. Like these last 2 days, like I literally thought about just driving off the Valley View Bridge. But now that I got this order, I'm definitely thinking about just driving off the bridge. And if anyone that's not from Cleveland, if you don't know, the Valley View Bridge is a really high bridge, and in Cleveland, when people want to die, they jump off it. Well, I like honestly, like I really don't want to take that back. Like, it'll be a godsend. It'll be a godsend if I end up being able to make it to this court date. Like, yeah, so the first order with my kid's mom, the custody agreement that we had said that I was not responsible for his health insurance. And then the child support office decided that they were going to supersede that and make me responsible. So I had a child support order that said I was responsible for his health insurance, and I also had a court order that said I wasn't. So either way, what I was doing was in contradiction. It was contradicting each one. I had one thing telling me that I had to. I had one thing telling me that I didn't. So either way, I was going against one of the orders. So yeah. And like, so with my son's mom, like I was saying, I don't get to claim him. I don't get any, like, when the government gives out money for, the stimulus checks, I don't get any extra money. Like, I'm not getting any sort of like $600 a month or $600 a week extra pay for being laid off because my job's essential. So they didn't lay us off. My kid's mom, my daughter's mom, she doesn't have a job, and she doesn't have a job because she was in treatment because she was getting high with my daughter. So now I'm going to have to pay more child support to her because the only income that they have is my income. And I have to, like, because there's only $42,000 between the two of us and she has zero. That means that I'm going to have to pay the majority of, I'm the only one that has money. So I'm going to have to pay more child support because she makes less money. And it isn't my fault that she was getting high. That was her doing, but I have to subsidize that bullshit. So, like, I can literally tell you that with my situation, that I get fucked every single way. I get fucked from them laying motherfuckers off and them getting paid more, and I don't. I'm getting fucked in the sense that I can't claim my kid. She still has custody because here in Cuyahoga County, CPS doesn't give no fucks about the children. If you look up a story in Cleveland, the Anita Day and her boyfriend killed her daughter while there was multiple complaints to CPS. Like, here, I'll just bring it up. I'll just show you guys what the article is, and you guys will be like, oh, that's fucked up. Okay, so this right here, this is where I live. I live in Cleveland, Ohio. So I'm gonna read you this article, and you tell me how this makes sense. This is what I'm going up against when it comes to parenting in Cleveland. Cleveland, Ohio, 4-year-old Annetta Day Garrett went through prolonged suffering before she died in March of 2018 of a stroke triggered by a beating, prosecutors told jury Thursday. Euclid firefighters found the girl's stiff, cold, emaciated body beneath a running air conditioner in the Euclid apartment building where she lived with her mother, Sierra Day, and Day's boyfriend, Dante Lewis. We will prove to you that both of these individuals killed this child, Assistant Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Ann Farlia told jurors during the opening statements in the trial of the day and Lewis. It was a long prolonged death. Day 24 and Lewis 27 each face up to life in prison without parole if they are convicted of charges including aggravated murder, murder, endangering a child, and permitting a child abuse. To Anea's March 11th, 2018 death. One of Day's lawyers, Tom, asked jurors to hold off on making any judgments about the case until they see all the evidence. Let's get to the part where that's important. If you get down into this, a review of the case by the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services found social workers failed to follow protocols, made few face-to-face contacts with the child, ignored 2 years worth of injury reports, daycare that Anea's daycare provider, and didn't check whether the girl's mother attended parental counseling. The social workers that she was injured, mommy did it, and the agency had a pending abuse claim with Day when the girl died. The report found social workers reached out to Day on March 6th and scheduled an interview for March 12th. The girl died on March 11th. So the reason so that what I just read was from 2018. So what ended up happening is the daycare reported on her, the girl's grandmother reported on her, and a nurse reported on her. There were multiple reports that this little girl was being abused. And anytime they went to see the girl, the mother would tell them that she wasn't there. So finally, when they finally made an appointment where she's like, I have to see this girl, she made the appointment on March 6th. Okay. The father during this whole time was going to CPS trying to get his daughter because he said he was afraid for his daughter's life. On March 11th is when the little girl died. The appointment that she was supposed to see the CPS worker was on March 12th. So the mom and the boyfriend beat this little girl for hours. They beat her and beat her and beat her on March 11th until she had a stroke. And the whole time, the father was trying to get his daughter. A nurse reported. The daycare reported. The grandmother reported. There were multiple people and multiple things of evidence to prove that this girl was in danger. And CPS said, it's okay. We're all good. And that is exactly what happened. Exactly. Here in Cleveland, they don't care. They don't care. If you're a female, they'll bend over backwards to figure out anything that they can do to make sure that they don't have to do the paperwork. Listen, I got sober on February 23rd of 2015. I was in CPS office in January because of my little girl. My little girl was around her mom and admitted she was getting high on heroin to CPS. I made a call to CPS in the beginning of December. Because of this case, they are supposed to make an immediate visit within 72 hours. They didn't go out and see my daughter until March 27th or December 27th, and I called them the 12th. So almost 3 weeks later, they go to see what's going on with my daughter. Guess what my daughter did? My daughter got left with my baby mom's friend who gets a check for being mentally disabled. She is slow. She gets a SS check for being mentally slow. She left my daughter with her and then went to detox. And in my report, because this is how this works. When you get a CPS case, if My daughter's mom is beating my kid, all right, and CPS goes to make a case to remove the kid, they automatically make a case against her and me because I'm the father, because I'm still legally responsible, even if I'm not allowed to see my daughter, and if I don't have custody. So in the CPS case that I was going to, the state was going against me. They had for her, they had using around the child, moving constantly in not stable housing, leaving my daughter with someone that was not fit to have a child, and then they told the thing against me was I didn't have daycare. So even though I didn't do nothing, there's like I can't have daycare without having custody of her. Like it's legally I cannot enroll her into daycare. Like you can't do it. You can't take someone else's kid and go enroll them into daycare. But CPS still made a case against me where I had to go and defend myself in CPS hearings for not having daycare. When I told them that I wanted them to pull my daughter out of the house that she was left in, I said, I want you to go take her and put her in foster care, put her with my sister. My sister's a licensed foster parent. She has the ability to have 5 kids. She only has 4. My sister is more than willing to take her. They said, no, because Victoria is the one she's the one that's a danger, and she's not there now. So the baby's not in risk. So we can't take the baby. But then when we went to court and they decided to make the case, they put in the case that my daughter was left with the people that I didn't want her to be with as a reason of why Victoria was fucking up. So they would tell me there was nothing they could do, but they could tell judge that was reasons to have this case. And then my kid's mom was 2 months sober, like 60 days sober, something like that. And she was either 60 or 90 days sober. And they have treatment centers in Cleveland where women with children are allowed to take their children and go live in a house with a bunch of other drug addict women and get sober with their children. CPS and the court would not let me get my daughter because they said that the mom was 60 days sober or 90 days sober was sufficient. That was enough time of her being sober that she was no longer a threat to my daughter. But with them saying that, they also wanted me to get supervised visits to see my daughter at the halfway house where my daughter and her mom are at. And mind you, I don't have any violent crimes on my record. I don't have any child abuse crimes on my record. I don't have any sexual charges on my record. I've been sober for 5 years. By the time that we went to CPS, I was like 2 or 3 weeks away from being 5 years sober. And they wanted me to have supervised visits. And I told them I absolutely will not do that. They're like, absolutely not. There's no way in hell that will happen. I didn't get high. I didn't commit a crime. I'm not getting out of prison. I didn't just get out of prison, so I don't need to go to a halfway house. And I'm not shooting heroin. I don't need to go to a halfway house. I will not go to a halfway house and sit there and be watched to have a visit with my daughter. But that's how fucked up the system is in Cleveland. Like, honest to God, I don't like if my kid's mom admitting to them that like 3 weeks earlier, like the first time we went there was January 7th or January 11th or something. 3 weeks earlier, she was getting high with my daughter, and she admitted that to CPS. And if that isn't enough for me to get temporary custody or to get my daughter removed, there's nothing I can do. Never. There's never going to be anything that I can do. Never. Not one thing. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Like, hey Genesis. So, yeah, like life is beating me up right now. Like, I honestly feel like a broken man. I really do. I really feel like a broken man. I'm gonna put this link down here. Whoever wants to jump up here can jump up here. Oh, and so you guys know, both my kids' moms watch my YouTube channel, so they hear all the shit that I say, and they both don't like me talking about it. They both have given me bullshit and trouble over what I've said on this YouTube channel, and she's licking his ear. My female is mothering my male. That's what's going on. But yeah, so that's what I have. That's what I have going on right now. Is I don't see a way out, and just thinking about the fact that I'm going to be dealing with this for the next 17 years. Like, I'd rather do 18 years, or I'd rather do 25 years in prison. I'd rather do 25 years in prison than fucking do 17 years free as a debt slave. Like, yeah, guys, I'm serious. I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to say. And like my kids' moms are just petty. Like, they're just petty. So like, it's just always a problem. Like, I always have a problem. Constantly. Can you cut it out back there? Good time. Cut it out. But I don't have anything planned this weekend, so I'm gonna end up doing some more videos. It's really hard to go live because Tommy is live constantly, and like, obviously, a lot of the people that sub to me are obviously, followers of him. So it's real hard to, like, I don't want to compete with him. Yeah, this is my male. This is my male right here. And then the other one's my female. I have a male and a female. And my female loves me to death. She loves me a lot. Ain't that right, Takami? Ain't that right? Yeah, you love me. Okay, come on. Get down. Come on. Yeah, I know. You want pets too. Yeah, Ash, go. Come on. Okay, guys. I just wanted to pet you for a minute. Now you're not going to take up the whole fucking show. Get out of here. But, yeah. So, I have nothing planned for the weekend. So, I think I'm going to go I think I'm gonna do some photography this weekend, and I think I'm gonna start putting videos out on my other channel of some of my photos. Start putting them in videos and showing and talking about what it was I saw and what I was doing when I was editing it. And honestly, like I have all sorts of stuff that I could do on this channel. Like I have all sorts of videos of women saying stupid shit and like political shit that's just like people are just saying dumb shit, and I can roast it. But I'll be honest with you, like I don't really that like yeah, it's hard to go live because he's always live, always, and like I know for a fact that I'm not Tommy, so like I totally get it. Like I totally get it. You know, I totally understand it. It's not a big deal. But like I also don't want to try to be competing with him. Guys, stop. Just stop. Katana, lay down. But I don't want to be competing with him for the simple fact that obviously, like, yeah, I don't drink. I don't drink. I don't smoke weed. I don't do painkiller. Like I don't. The only thing you see me do is I'll drink caffeine and I'll smoke cigarettes. That's all I got. No, you're not gonna fuck up my train of thought. My head's in a fucked up place, man. It really is. My head is fucked up. Like I feel like my spirit's being crushed. I really feel like my spirit's being crushed. I absolutely do. And I don't like dude, I've been through some hard things in life. And I'd rather go through that shit than be going through this dumb shit with baby moms. Like listen guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't had sex in probably like a month and a half, maybe pushing two, maybe. Like it's been a minute. And like when I was younger, like I have a sex addiction, like easily, I have a sex addiction. But like I've gotten to a point where like I'm afraid. I'm absolutely afraid. Like I'm absolutely afraid. I'm afraid of women. I'm afraid. I don't want to go into a bathroom and use the same bathroom as a woman because I don't want like for some reason that like I don't want any way that my genetics can be on that toilet seat and some chick come up pregnant and point a finger at me. Like I don't want to talk to them. Like I just don't like I'm terrified. Like I can't keep like dude, I can't do it. Like it would be cool if like one of my kids' moms if one of my kids' moms was cool, but like I just constantly have trouble with both of them, no matter what I do, no matter what. Like I don't get to have any peace or calm in my life. Like I literally was just telling you guys the other day about every time that life starts to get good for me, I go back to court, and then a day or two later, I come home and I have certified mail at my house about court. Like this will be this will be like the third or fourth time this year that I've been in court over kids. Like literally. Like I've been in court more times for children in the 5 years I've been sober than I have been on probation hearings and fucking like going in front of the judge and shit. Like I've only went from the judge one time in 5 years of being like since I've been sentenced. One time. I've been to court maybe 3 times in 5 years on my criminal cases that were pending and I was still dealing with of being sober. I've been to fucking child support and custody hearings way more in 5 years than I have with all my like all the bullshit I had going on before I got sober. Man, oh man, if they can't break you to marry them, they try to break you after the fact, man. Like with all this shit going on, with all this shit that I got going on with my kids, my sister and my mom still tell me that I need just to find a nice girl. Seriously, absolutely tell me that I just need to find a nice girl. No, that's not an option. Like I think these gay dudes know what I think they really got it figured out. I really think these gay dudes are really like they're ahead of the curve. Like I feel like these gay dudes were pretty much like the first time someone wore a mullet and they made fun of the guy, and then the mullet became like the biggest fucking thing from this like during the 80s and early 90s, and then it was cool as fuck. Yeah, I feel like that's really what these gay dudes are on. Like they were just way ahead of the curve, and everyone thought they were crazy. And then now looking back at it, it's like they really knew what the fuck they were doing from the jump. Oh man. So, what did you guys think about that person that was on Tommy's live? Because I think that lady's crazy. I think that lady's crazy, and I think she was doing so much mental gymnastics while she was talking to Tommy that it was absolutely ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. Like if she was at the Olympics, she would have got the gold. But that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. Fun fact, there is actually a subscriber that lives here in Cleveland. We actually don't live that far from each other. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to get on here for a little bit and rant and talk to you guys because like I said, I had to leave and I had to go take care of something, so I wasn't able to upload more content. And for whatever reason, I feel guilty if I don't upload something. Even I just don't. I feel like a piece of shit if I don't. So I at least decided to come home and eat and go live so I could at least show my face and talk to you guys. Is there any topics you guys want me to talk about tomorrow? Because I still got this list. I still got a list of stuff you guys gave me earlier. Well, that's not surprising to me, man. It's not surprising. Like I'm literally out of all the brothers that I know, like my two oldest brothers I've never met, but out of all the brothers that I've actually met, there's only me and one other that hasn't gone to prison, and I've got 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 boys. So out of five, Rory, Tim. No, there's more than that. Jesus Christ. So Tim went to prison. Justin went to prison. Jonathan went to prison. Rory went to prison. Yeah, so out of 6 of us, only 2 of us haven't gone to prison. We've all, I've been locked up in county and shit, but I never went to prison. But I don't know if my brother Zach's ever been to jail or not. I'm assuming he has because he's an idiot like the rest of us. But I don't think he's been to prison. But yeah, out of 6 boys, 4 of us went to prison. It like my older cousin went to the feds twice. His brother went to prison and got murdered in prison. like when people when you live in situations like her and I, it's not uncommon for everyone to be partaking in that bullshit. Like, that's very common. It doesn't surprise me at all. But like, when she started talking about how like she need, like, you know, white people need to pretty much pay for some shit that they didn't do and they weren't even alive for, that shit was crazy. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, I couldn't even understand it. And like, the fact that she was a lesbian, a black lesbian that was like pro Black Lives Matter, just lets you know that she does not give no fucks about men in the household. Like, she just does not give no fucks. And the fact that she like pointed out that her husband was white lets you know even more that I don't think she gives a fuck about black men. She tried to argue that women go to prison more than men do. It's like, you're crazy, lady. You're fucking crazy. Yeah, I agree. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy, and a lot of like, she was all over the place. But I want to let you guys know something. So here's one thing that I do disagree with Tom. Here's a couple things I disagree with Tommy. Okay, so for one, the Confederate flag. The reason the Confederate flag is honored is because during the Civil War, all right, when the South gave up, there was a treaty, or there was an agreement made that the top people in the South had to be brought into the North and become senators and still retain some form of power. After they tried to succeed, there was a merge between the North and the South. So part of the rebel flag and all that stuff was like part of that negotiation. The reason that they had statues and stuff was because those men stood up for something they believed in, and they took on the federal government. And in them doing that, it took them to a point where the war needed to end, and they negotiated not all being killed, and they had to be brought back into the Union. So the Union, people put up monuments of them. They still like carried their flag, like that. History is written by the winners, but in this specific idea, the country was torn apart and they wanted to bring the country back together. So the terms of that was different. So that's why there's statues of them. That's why there's things named after them. That's why the Confederate flag is prominent in the South, was because in the agreement, they were trying to bring the country back as one. So a lot of like the guy that was ahead of the Confederate Army became a senator. Like, that's a fact. Okay. That's one thing. Like, I don't necessarily like, I don't fly a Confederate flag. Like, I do believe that it's about like it is it's some way about racism. Like, I do agree with that. But at the same time, I don't want someone else's speech to be taken away from them. And I do understand people had family that died on that side of the flag. Regardless. Two, when it comes to the crack epidemic and the heroin epidemic, the reason that things are being treated differently was because, if you remember what she said the crime in Chicago was much, much worse in the 80s and 90s in Chicago than it is now. The reason that is because back during the crack time, the violence was ridiculous. The violence was ridiculous. And if anyone that's ever sold drugs knows, the first thing that will bring attention to you is a body. That's the facts. I told a story on the other night about my life when I did all them drugs, and the guy was like, "Hey, bro, you can't die here." He wasn't shooting me. He wasn't killing me. Like, we weren't fighting. There was no hostility, but just the fact that I would die in his house would bring way too much attention to him. It's just a fact. The crack bill was pushed and brought to the it was brought up in the House of Congress by the Black Caucus. The Black Caucus wanted to get the violence out of their neighborhoods. You can go look it up. The higher penalties on crack cocaine was something that was pushed by the Black Caucus. It was not a racist bill. It was an overcorrection to try to fix what was going on, because there was, like, I don't know, like, the CIA brought crack into neighborhoods, but I don't know if every congressman knew that. I don't know at which part of the government knew what was going on. So even though the CIA was using the coke in the inner cities to fund other stuff, I don't know if the senators knew that. So they could have. It's possible. I couldn't tell you one way or the other. I haven't seen any evidence to know that all the congressmen and senators knew that was happening. But the Black Caucus asked for stiffer laws on the crack, because you had elites that were doing coke, and they weren't just gunning motherfuckers down in the streets constantly. Like, you didn't see that. The only places that was really happening was like Miami with the cartels. They were shooting at each other, and like the crack dealers. Also, a lot of the reason it was an epidemic was because it was the first time that amount of violence. Even during the heroin epidemic in Harlem, there wasn't as much violence as there was in Chicago with the crack. Like, not even just Chicago, in the United States in general. There was more violence during the 80s and 90s than there was in the 70s. You can look it up. It was a fact. Nationwide, it was way worse with the crack epidemic. Like, you had gangs. You didn't have the Bloods and the Crips start until like the 60s and 70s. It wasn't until the 80s, when crack was being sold, that those gangs started to spread out around the country. So there was multiple things that were going on all at the same time, and people were overcorrecting. All right. 2, from the 80s until now, you got 30, we'll say 30 years of people understanding addiction way differently. You also have a difference in the fact that people have become softer. Like, there is more of a victim mentality that is built down into people now, to where we don't fat shame. We use, like, you're considered to be transphobic if you're straight and don't want to date a trans woman. Like, you can't say that you have a standard of a woman being 125 pounds, because that's shaming. You have to love big, beautiful women. So just in the sense of the way that we use language and the way that people are shamed into liking things that are not good for them, things have softened up. Like, it used to be completely acceptable to not like fat women. Like, that was acceptable. But they've been pushing that you can't do that for years. So the reason I'm saying this is the science and the treating the medical knowledge of addiction has changed in 30, 40 years. People's perception of victimhood has changed. All right. Also, the difference between the crack epidemic and the opiate epidemic is a lot of the opiate epidemic started from painkillers that were overly prescribed from the doctors. It's one thing that's different to go and buy something that you know is illegal and get addicted to it than to go to your doctor and then prescribe you something and then tell you that it's not addictive, and then you become addicted to it. Like, that's a vastly different That's apples and oranges. They're not even the same comparison. And the fact that people want to say this, that it's a race thing, it's not, because all of the laws that are changed for drug addicts now affect every race. It doesn't matter the gender. It doesn't matter the race. If you're a first-time drug offender that's non-violent, you get a break. I literally know a dude that just got out of prison. He was on parole. He did like 5 or 6 years for armed robbery. He went to prison at 18. He got caught with dope on parole, and he got put on probation because it was a first-time drug offense. And he's black. And he was on parole. And he was caught with heroin. So like these softened opiate drug laws it affects everybody. When I went to treatment, a lot of the people that I was in treatment with, there were Mexicans, there were Hispanics, there was Puerto Ricans, there was blacks. Like there was all, like the house I went to, you could get into it for free. Everyone got to go there. It wasn't paid for by the government. It was paid by donations. Guys that have gone through it themselves donated money to keep it running. There were people in the community that wanted it to stay open because it helped them. Everyone was welcomed. It wasn't whites only. It wasn't any of that stuff. So this whole idea that the laws themselves were based on a racist premise is not true. I do disagree with Tommy on that sense, and the Confederate flag. Those are the two things I disagree with him on. And I disagree with like a bunch of shit that crazy lady said, because she was being crazy. Like she was saying that she should be able to say whatever she wants and blah 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 blah. But like you were still wearing that mask in the airport where there were 4-year-old kids, but you weren't going to act a fool in the airport next to the 4-year-old kid because she was 4 and you wanted to be a good example. How are you setting a good example by walking through the airport saying the same thing? Like I don't get how being on the airplane and being in the airport are two different things. I did see that. I did see. I didn't know about Aaron Schaefer. I did hear about Brian. I don't know what the allegations are. I do not know how credible they are. I don't know how credible either of these allegations are. But it doesn't surprise me because there's a lot of people that are in Hollywood that do a lot of things they shouldn't be doing. We all know this. But it also wouldn't surprise me if a woman was lying. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, like I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of these women sleep to get to the top. They do. Listen, I'm gonna do a video tomorrow about a thought. I'm gonna do 2 videos. I got a video that's about women that are on. Listen, if you want to give blowjobs to get stage time, that's not sexual assault and that's not rape. That's called a trade. That's what that's called. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, but I don't care. Like, I don't care if you're 23 and you're hot, so you blow some 40-year-old man to get some time, but now you're 35 and you ain't so hot, and now you're trying to go back 13 years, 14 years to say that you were raped. I don't believe it. Yeah, so it is getting crazy out here, guys. Like, I'm telling you, man, I'm afraid to be with women. Like, I don't want to, like, I don't think I have the desire to have sex. Like, I don't even think that I have a desire to to even get some head. Like, I really don't want it. And if I get so desperate that I have to, like, I'd be more likely to go pick up a street hooker and get a $40 blowjob than to deal with some broad that isn't a street hooker. I'd rather put my dick in a meat grinder than date a woman right now. And don't get it twisted. Like, I have women that hit me up. I have women that are hitting my phone up all the time. I just don't. No. Mm-mm. Like, mm-mm. I'm not. No. No, bro. Listen, I can't have 3 baby moms and 3 child support payments. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I end up doing some dumb shit and I end up getting a 3rd baby mom, the 3rd baby, the day she tells me I'm pregnant, that's it. That's the last day. Like, I'll be like, there will be no more Savage Red recovery an hour after she gives me that statement. I'm telling you that right now. Like, I will have, bro. I'm not even trusting condoms. I'm not gonna trust a condom. I'm not gonna trust the condom with the pull-out method. I'm not trusting her birth control. No, bro. I got them shooters. Like, my dick is like Southside Chicago. I'm telling you that right now. Like, I don't when I shoot, I don't miss. I'm fucking Kobe with the genetics over here, man. Like, I don't miss. I'm good. I'm gonna take my Kobe genetics and just go dive off an airplane, dive down off a bridge, like I'm going down a helicopter or something. Like, I'm not taking the chances, bro, because all it takes is one swimmer to get past that goalie. Just one. Whew. I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. Like, these chicks are already riding me like a mule, bro. I don't have room for another one. No, bro. I don't miss. I'm telling you that right now. I don't miss. I don't think I'm gonna fuck again, bro. I think it. I've done enough fucking in my life and fucked enough women in my life that, like, I'm good. I'm good for the rest of it. Like, I have hepatitis and I smoke cigarettes and have asthma. What am I gonna make it to? And I work in construction. What am I gonna do? Make it to 60? I'll make it. I'll probably make it to 60. My dad died at 55, so I might make it to 55. I only got like 24 more years. If I was gonna go to prison and if I was going to prison, if I was about to do 24 years in prison, I ain't fucking for 24 years. So I'll just have to pretend like I'm doing a bid. Like, that's what I'm gonna have to do. Like, listen, bro, my dad had fucking there's four I have 14 brothers and sisters, and my dad had one, two, three, four. He had 7 kids. My dad had 7 kids, my dude. I literally had two, like, my daughter's mom, when she was pregnant, I had a second girl pregnant. I had 2 girls pregnant at the same time. At the same time, bro. The only reason the 3rd baby didn't happen was because she decided to have an abortion, and I was pissed about it. Like, I'm mad that she had an abortion, but yeah, like, mm, I'm gonna be Michael Jackson over here. I'm just gonna beat it. I'm gonna beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. Like, if I could play that song without it being a copyright, it'd be my intro and outro of every time I have a YouTube do a YouTube video, because that's how much I'm gonna be beating it. Because I'm just not in any way gonna be taking the chance, bro. I don't know. I do have a shit ton on my plate. A shit ton. Like, a retarded amount. Like, I make more money than both my baby moms put together, and they're just, riding me. They're just riding me like a fucking cheap mule. Yeah, like, dude, I can't do it. Like, dude, this shit's gonna make me end up either like this only has like two options. I only see two options. I'm either gonna drive. There's like three. I'm either gonna drive my car into the garage behind my house and close the door while my car's running and wait for the carbon dioxide to take me out, or I'm gonna drive off of a bridge. All right, or I'm going to start drinking. Like, those are the only three options I see. The Yeah, like, oh no, bro, I'm not getting a vasectomy. That's not happening. I won't get my male dog fixed. I'm not getting fixed. I'd rather I'd rather die with my balls than live without them. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What was it? No to all three. No, you didn't ask a question. You made a statement. No to all three is what you said. But yeah, like, dude, I don't even know what to say. I really don't. Like, I wish I could just like not go to work, like not go to work anymore. Just take my camera, just take my camera and just disappear for a while. Just take pictures. Just enjoy nature or something. Just not have any more stress. Listen, guys, I'm gonna be bald. Like, give it, like, if I live for another year, I'm gonna be bald, like completely bald, like completely bald, completely bald. Yeah, I said I could get snipped, but I'm not going to get snipped because I'm not a dog. I'd rather just not have sex or fuck hookers. I'd rather just fuck hookers. Hookers don't get pregnant. Ling Ling don't get pregnant, guys. I don't know if you know this, but Ling Ling ain't worried about getting. Ling Ling's not worried about getting pregnant. Like, he's not. Like, he's not. She's not getting pregnant. Ling Ling's not getting pregnant. That's not happening. Bro, I'm 31 years old with hepatitis, which makes me tired, and I work a lot, and I have a physical job. I couldn't go all night if I tried. Like, I will fuck you all day in about 10-minute increments with a half-hour break in between. No, bro. They don't get pregnant. Do you know why they don't get pregnant? Because either they're strung out and don't have periods, or they make sure they don't get pregnant because they're whores. And they just don't want some random dude that they don't even know giving them a kid. Oh, man. I guess the only thing I could do is just, just do butt sex. I guess like that's the only. Did all these chicks leave me? Correct. You can't point at me if I'm the 16th guy today. Yeah, all the girls leave. Like, listen. Anytime I drop a video about women, I lose subscribers. I'm telling you that right now. Like, I had 245 subscribers earlier. I made a video about child support. Someone left it, like someone unsubscribed, and then like later in the day, I got another subscriber. I don't know why it works like that, but if I drop videos about women, I'm telling you, like literally, I had it. If you, I'm sure you guys know PG from Tommy's chat. She literally was like a fan, like messaging me, emailing me every day, commenting every day. I did a video about women. She stopped. God. Yeah, these chicks. Let's see who was in the chat. We had Christine was in here. We had Michelle A was in here, and then we had that was it. Those are the two girls. There was two girls in here, and they dipped. Like I only see two people commenting. No, I had booty calls hitting me up though. Like I had booty calls hitting me up. Like I have chicks hitting me up. I just don't do it. Like guys, listen. I'm telling you. Like, I'm not a bad looking dude. Like, I'm not the most attractive dude, but I'm 6'3". All right. I got face tats. I look you know how we talk about like women always want the bad boys? Well, I fit that description. Like, I look like I'm up to no good. So, like, I have women that hit on me all the time. Like, even wearing fucking coveralls, like, even wearing these goofy ass clothes that look like I have sex with my cousin. I still have chicks that hit me up all the time. But I don't want nothing to do with it. Like, I don't. What's sad is I really don't even agree with porn. Like, I'm really trying not to even watch porn. Like, absolutely trying not to watch porn. I don't like porn. I don't think it's good for your soul. I don't think it's good for men. I just don't think it's good. And that's just it. Like, I'm literally just trying, like, guys, this is all I want to do. Like, these are the only things in my head that I really want to do. I want to get a Canon 5D Classic, which is about $300, and I want to get an Elgato that's about $140. And that's it. I want to get my truck running. That's it. Like, those are the only things I have in my mind. Take some pictures, do some YouTube, drive my truck. Those are the only things that I have in my life that I'm actually thinking about. And obviously, I'm thinking about this child support case because I'm about to go get butt fucked. But besides that, like, I'm not worried. I'm not really trying to worry about women. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm trying to do. Just real simple stuff. Real simple stuff. There's my girl MK. Okay, so all right, guys. So I'm gonna read you some comments. All right, so my girl MK, which I love MK. I'm not gonna lie to you, MK is sexy as hell. Like she is super sexy. Like MK is sexy enough to make me move out west. But Kristen commented an hour ago and said, "I'm so sorry you're going through this. I wish you lots of luck. I was a young single mom for my first two kids with no support whatsoever. Their dad never helped me or had anything to do with my kids, who are now in their 30s. My hubby stepped up to the plate and was their dad while he was racked over the coals for child support. I'm ashamed of my gender and what women have become. I feel so bad that bitches have done you wrong. Stay strong for your kids because one day when they're older, they will see the truth." Well, until then, child support laws get changed, I'm just gonna be canned fodder. And then MK also said, "All this video made me feel so bad. I sure hope things are getting better for you. You are a smart man. Hope your day gets better." Uh, well, I got child support court papers today, so that's a no. That would be a negative, guys. It's not gonna get better. It only gets worse. That's how my life goes. I don't know why I'm whispering. Jesus. Jesus Christ. I'm getting all sorts of messages on Facebook. I got all these bot accounts from other countries that are constantly hitting me up. I think she lives in like Las Vegas or Arizona or something like that. I'm not exactly sure where she lives, but I'm gonna tell you right now. I'd fly out there. I'd go out there. Shit. Shit. Go off this abstinence thing in a heartbeat. Go out there and see her. No, because chicks with benefits, they want you to be their girlfriend, or they want you to be their boyfriend. They want to be your girlfriend. They're the ones that will set you up to get pregnant. Like fuck that. Like I no. I'm gonna tell you right now, if it's not MK, I'm good. Like I'm good. I'm good. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing all that shit. Okay, I don't know if you know this, but go do me a favor. Go turn your oven onto 120 and put your head in it. It's dry heat. I flirt with MK constantly, and you guys know MK. She's from Tommy's channel. She's always in the chat over there. I constantly flirt with that beautiful woman. She is gorgeous. I let her know, like I simp a little bit with her. Like I let her know she gorgeous all the time, constantly, constantly letting her know. Yeah, constantly. MK is a gorgeous, gorgeous gal. Guys, listen, I'm a simple dude. Like, and does she bite? I'm hoping she bites a little bit. I hope she bites a little bit. But um I get both. I get white and black girls and Puerto Rican girls. I get every race. Every race hits me up. Like I don't, you know, like I don't like I don't have like a type that hits me up. But MK is gorgeous. But guys, I'm a simple dude. Like these are like if it comes like if any woman's that's listening to this, all right, any woman that's listening to this is how simple of a dude I am to date. I work a lot. I make time. I'll make time. I love kids. And all I like all the things that I like that just are over the top for me, I never discriminated ever. Like women are my worst decisions in life I've ever made. But I like a hot meal. Like if a woman cooks and cleans for me, like does things that makes my life easier, and back rubs and sex, like hot meal, clean clothes, back rubs, and sex. Those four things also good with my kids. Boom, those five things, and we in there. Like I'm that simple to please. Just don't nag me. Just don't nag me. Give me something to do. Don't nag me. Yeah, but I didn't discriminate. Like my son's mom's black. My daughter's mom is Bohemian. My the girl that I got pregnant that was mixed, she was Mexican. Like I would have had a baby of three different. I literally would have had three different. I would have had three different women, three different types of. Uh, I would have had three different races of baby. So no, I do not discriminate. Hey man, I don't have high standards when it comes to cooking and cleaning, my dude. Like legitly. Like I don't have crazy high standards. Like I'm not. I'm a pretty easy. I'm pretty easy. Pretty like I'm a pretty non-judgmental guy when it comes to dating. Like don't get me wrong, I have no problem cutting someone off. No, I don't. Dude, who am I? I'm not a super like I'm not top 10%. Like I have two baby moms. I got two kids. I got child support payments. Like I have strong opinions. I work a lot. Like I don't really take I don't listen that well. You know, like I don't take orders. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah. So it doesn't really tell me how many women subs I have, but it tells me that that my women subs are like 18%. I'll go look right now and tell you exactly what my analytics say. So if I go to analytics, my audience, okay, so I have 1,000 unique viewers. It says subs who turned on all notifications for your channel is 30.6%. Subs who turned off all notifications for your channel and enabled the YouTube notifications is 24.5%. 70% of my videos are viewed in the United States. 70% of my videos are watched by subs. 29.8% are from non-subs. When it comes to gender and age, my female viewers are 11.2%. I have 88.8% males. My demographics are 25 to 34 years old, 74.2%. 45 to 54%, 25.9%. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What other countries watch me? Audience. I've got 0.5% in the United Kingdoms, 0.5% in Denmark. It says 0.0% in Argentina, 0% in Australia. Yeah. I don't know what it means by unique. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Let me read. Let me read. Estimated number of people that watch your content within a selected date range previous to date. So that means that I've gotten 1,000 views within a estimated number of people that watch your content within the selected date range. Okay, so that means I'm not exactly sure what that means because it doesn't really say, to be honest with you. But guys, I'm like I don't know what it is, but we always have viewers. Like I always have like 2 or 3 people that are watching but never say anything in the chat. Like it honestly makes me always feel like my kids' moms are in the chat just watching me, just stewing on the other side of the screen, just waiting to see what I say. I think Joe Rogan leaving YouTube is a good thing because that means Joe Rogan leaving is good because it's gonna give competition to YouTube, which means that hopefully YouTube starts to change its bullshit. Because YouTube is doing a bunch of fuckery. Which everyone knows that they've been doing fuckery, but like they've really been doing fuckery. Yeah, they've just been censoring people, and it's all good, Grand Slam. It's just good to see you at least say something. So I don't think I know that you're not my kid's moms. Fuck Cardi B. That bitch ain't shit. Shit probably smells like tacos. Fishy, fishy, fishy tacos. Like yeah, he's leaving California because like California it's a shit show. Yeah, like yeah, it's just there's just God. Now I understand why I'm not gay because I see gay dudes on Instagram and I immediately am like, Jesus Christ, just kill me now. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Nate, for the unique answer. Yeah, it's people are gonna be leaving California because California and New York and all these places that are doing all this fuck shit, like their ideologies don't work and they overtax people and you can't sustain it. And why would you want to pay premium prices for shit, but you have humans shitting in the streets and pissing and needles everywhere and crimes up because no one can get arrested? I seriously cannot wait to get this fucking. I cannot wait to get this Canon 5D. Yeah, he'd have to pay like 12% just to California for their fucking bullshit taxes. Yeah, so what I think I'm gonna do, guys, is I think I'm gonna buy the Canon 5D Classic. It's like a 15-year-old camera, but it's a full frame camera that I can get for like $200 to $400 in that range, and it's a full frame, and that means there's no crop on the sensor, so my photos won't be cropped in. They won't be zoomed in, and I can get that, and it doesn't do video. It doesn't do video. It just does photos, but that's all I want to do. And then I'm gonna use that until I can save up the money to get a EOS 6, which will probably be in like 2 years when the price comes down. But I'm getting tired, guys. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you guys very much for the support and letting me rant and get this child support shit off my chest. As always, guys, I will see you tomorrow. I have more content. You guys can always email me or message me. Stay savage, everybody.